Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Brett James back again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 players I would start to build a franchise around today. Now, this list actually came out on ESPN when Brian Windhorst went on the Hoop Collective and started talking about his list. Now, his list I didn't so much agree with. There was some things, of course, I agree with, but other people were trying to take the argument that, age shouldn't matter if we're talking just basketball. But, I mean, come on, you're starting a franchise. I'm going to put age into the equation. And to already break it to you, no, LeBron and Kevin Durant are not on my list, okay? That is ridiculous, all right? But let's stop wasting time and let's just hop right into the video, though. All right, so coming in at number 5, I got Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers. Ever since he was selected out of Weber State, he's been nothing but great in the NBA. He's an all-NBA type of talent, an all-star. He's made the Western Conference Finals. He's never made it to the NBA Finals, but I don't blame him whatsoever. He has put that city and that team on his back ever since he's been with the team. And to put it plain and simple, the Portland Trailblazers have done nothing to help Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum to elevate their game and take that next step by adding help to the team and making some big name move to get a superstar. Now, the rumors have been that they might trade for Kevin Love before the start of the season, and that would obviously take a lot of pressure off of guys like Damian and CJ. They got Rodney Hood back on that contract. He's a nice guy off the bench to drop some. They traded for Hassan Whiteside as well. Nice, solid move, but I mean, none of these moves that they have right now are going to do anything in the West to actually put them over the hump. Like, they're still going to be competing in the West, but nothing much, though. Damian Lillard, though, as of 29 years of age, is a fantastic player. I cannot stress that enough. He's really and truly been an underrated player his whole entire career, and I have nothing but respect for him and that contract extension and him wanting to actually stay in Portland and be loyal to that city and that team. I hope he stays there the rest of his career, and I actually hope the Portland Trailblazers can do something to help him and CJ out someday, though. All right, coming in at number 4, I got Zion Williamson. Obviously, I had to put him on this list, okay? This guy is being hyped up to be the next big thing, the next great thing in the NBA. I mean, he was already getting comparisons to guys like Blake Griffin and LeBron James in his sophomore year of high school. You were seeing his dunks and his plays everywhere on social media. I mean, the fact that he's about 6'8", 260-ish pounds, and that man can run the floor, elevate, play defense, hustle, and he goes out there and plays and hustles every single night. I mean, this guy has the potential to be the next big thing, so I have to put him on this list. The Pelicans have a lot of hype coming into the year after that trade with Anthony Davis, and they wound up getting guys like Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and a couple other pieces that they got this offseason. But I don't expect Zion to put it together, I would say, immediately or this year whatsoever. I think for the future in building a franchise around, he is a legitimate player and a legitimate athlete that players want to eventually come and play with, because if he's what he's supposed to be, he's going to be fantastic in this league, and nobody's really going to mess with him when he's driving to the hole. If he can eventually develop a legitimate jump shot where people can actually start respecting him. He was shooting the 3 ball somewhat decently at Duke, but it wasn't good enough, and he was known more as just a flashy guy that can get to the rim. Now, in the NBA, that's not really going to much. I mean, guys like Giannis can do it, but that's very few and far in between. Zion's going to have to get a jump shot at some point that is actually respectable. And if he can, man, he's going to be the legitimate answer in the NBA, and I'm going to be afraid for guys that have to go up against him, though. All right, coming in at number 3, I got Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, Anthony Davis, ever since getting drafted out of Kentucky, has been nothing short of amazing, great. He has lived up to the hype. Honestly, he may have even surpassed the hype that he was getting, because Anthony Davis is a top 2 or 3 big man in the league at minimum. You could say he's the best big man in the league. He's a walking 25, 10, 2.5 blocks per game, a defensive player of the year type candidate, MVP player type candidate. I mean, if it weren't for injuries, Anthony Davis would probably have been an MVP at some point in his career. Granted, he was playing for New Orleans his whole career, so, I mean, he wasn't really winning outside of advancing to the semifinals, but most of the time, New Orleans was an on and off team. Alvin Gentry, they would win some, they would lose some. But Anthony Davis has been nothing short of great. He is a fantastic all-world type of player. And he's only going to flourish playing with LeBron James now in that pick and roll game, driving to the hole, kicking it out to the three. Like, Anthony Davis this year is going to be amazing if he can stay healthy. And now that he has actually other players around him, not just LeBron James, but Anthony Davis has legitimate players around him to help him in that supporting cast, he's going to absolutely flourish this year. And I'm excited to see how the Lakers play. Now, I don't think the Lakers are going to be as great as people say they are, especially in the regular season. I think that they're going to have a hard time adjusting to each other's playing styles. But I think come playoff time, they're probably going to advance to the second round. I don't see them advancing to the Western Conference Finals. But when you have two guys like LeBron James and Anthony Davis, anything is possible. But we'll definitely see what happens, though. All right, coming in at number 2, I got Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard, man, he's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's 28 years of age. He's got a championship with the Toronto Raptors and the San Antonio Spurs. If Kawhi Leonard goes out and wins a championship with the Clippers, he's going to be the first player in NBA history to win with 3 different teams an NBA championship. Like, that is already an amazing feat in itself. I mean, some guys have rings with 2 teams, like obviously LeBron James being one of them. But, I mean, Kawhi Leonard's already in the conversation as the best player in basketball. But if he goes and wins a ring with the Clippers, especially this year with the Lakers loading up, the Jazz loading up, the Nuggets being the great team that they are, the Rockets loading up with Russell Westbrook now, and then even the East, Milwaukee's still great. Philadelphia's still a great team. You know, Boston, maybe they'll be good. Like, if Kawhi goes out and proves that he can go and do it with the Clippers this year and Paul George, like, Kawhi Leonard's really going to be in the conversation for maybe a top 10 player of all time. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself right now, but I mean, if I'm starting a franchise right now, how can I not consider Kawhi Leonard? And it's honestly just ridiculous to think about how much better Kawhi Leonard could be and can be, especially now that he's got Paul George to take that load off of him. He never truly had that in San Antonio. Yes, he had Parker, Duncan, Ginobili, but those guys were towards that lighter end of their career. And then even in Toronto, like, come on, Kyle Lowry, granted, he showed up in the finals, but Kyle Lowry's not like a superstar teammate. You know, Pascal Siakam had a most improved player of the year type of year. He's not a Paul George. Okay, neither is Marc Gasol. Like, he has an MVP player in Paul George, and now they're probably going to take over the West this year. All right, coming in at number 1, I got the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo himself. How can I not put Giannis at number 1? Like, this should be an absolute no-brainer, okay? Coming off an MVP season. I mean, he's a humble guy. He's a loyal guy, well, from what we've seen so far. The man is a straight-out baller. He competes every single night. You hear it in his interviews that he wants to be the best player he can possibly be. You see the videos of him working out in the gym, you know, working on his body and working on his game, working on that jump shot with Kyle Korver now, who's now in Milwaukee. Like, Giannis is already a fantastic player, arguably the best player in the world right now, even though he's yet to make a finals appearance. He did just make the Eastern Conference Finals. They ended up losing to, obviously, Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. But Giannis is an absolute monster, and for potential and age and everything that he's proven in the last, I'd say, 3-4 years, if I'm starting a franchise, he's going to give you production for the next 10 years. And that's a given. If he stays healthy, Giannis is going to be an absolutely ridiculous player, and it is going to be awesome to see what he's going to do. In my estimate, I think he's actually going to come back with a jump shot this year. I'm not saying he's going to be shooting lights out like a Steph Curry, a Kevin Durant, you know, a James Harden. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying his jump shot's going to actually be elevated to a point where defenses have to come out on him, and people can't just be slacking off. And Giannis is going to still be able to drive to the hole, do that fancy Euro step he does, dunking on everyone, still being the elite defender that he is on the perimeter, in the paint, swatting shots, driving to the hole. Just, I mean, everything Giannis does for this team and the system that Budenholzer put in place for him to flourish is absolutely ridiculous. And he's only going to get better. So if I'm starting a franchise, I know that Giannis is going to continue to dominate the league the way he's been doing the last couple of years, and I know that's going to continue, so that's why I'm putting Giannis at number 1. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys thought about my list of the top 5 players I'd start a franchise with right now. Now, I will just throw out some honorable mentions that I didn't name. Okay, I know y'all are probably thinking like, okay, this is crazy, this list, like he's missing a player or two. I was considering putting Luka instead of Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard has proven much more. Granted, Luka's played a year and he's much younger, but Damian Lillard was a straight baller. Okay, so that's why I put him there. So I got Luka as an honorable mention, Donovan Mitchell as an honorable mention, Nikola Jokic, and Ben Simmons. But a lot of those guys, especially Ben Simmons, he has to prove himself. But, you know, we'll see what happens, though, with a lot of these guys. But I feel pretty confident on my list overall, though. But let me know any other topics y'all want me to discuss. Please leave a comment down below. And if you guys could please like, share, and subscribe, that'd be great. Thank you guys so much, and I'm out.